Welcome back to another episode of Holistic Health is Hot. Today, we're going to talk about hot girl energy. And I think so many people think that it's like this external thing that they're like, oh, they're just like so pretty. And so often that glow that a lot of girls that we would consider to have like hot girl energy or, oh, they're so pretty, a lot of it comes from their energy. And they're actually glowing from the inside out, and it has nothing to do with their looks. Today, we're going to talk about how you can embody the identity of hot girl energy. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about relationships, because all of this stuff goes into how you treat your inner world. And your inner world creates your outer world. We're also going to go into some rituals that are going to really help you embody this hot girl energy. So let's get into it. Welcome to Holistic Health is Hot, where your journey to sculpting your dream body meets holistic health. I'm your host, Ashley Roberts. Here, we're going to chat about mindset hacks that have completely transformed my life and dive deep into nutrition and movement that will help transform yours. We're going to get into the intense connection between mind, body, and soul so you can glow from the inside out. Let's get into it. And remember, holistic health is hot. So like I said, hot girl energy has nothing to do with your looks. It all comes down to your inside world. It really is glowing from the inside out. And I want to use this example because I've talked a lot about this in therapy. And so when I was in college, I ended up staying an extra semester because I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but long story short, I was an entrepreneurship major, but then junior year I started, or maybe junior or senior year, I started taking finance classes, and I was just so good at it. I was like, whoa, maybe I'm supposed to be a finance girly. So I ended up doing a double major with entrepreneurship and finance, but I had to stay an extra semester. So the summer before my last semester, that like half year that I did, this was the summer that I went to Europe, and I came back on the plane and had this like realization that I was like, okay, no, like I'm so uncomfortable in my own skin. I don't know who this reflection is looking back at me. I need to change, and read a book. Y'all know the story. I read a book, convinced me to be vegan. Side note, do not go vegan if you're new here. Don't go vegan. It fucked up my hormones for a long time. So I lost a bunch of weight, and then I remember going back to school, and it was like welcome week, and we were kind of like partying or whatever, and one of my good guy friends was like, wow, Ashley, you are just like, something is so different about you. And in my brain, I was like, duh, I lost like 15-20 pounds. Like, what do you mean something is different? Like, in my mind, it was so obvious. But I talked a lot about this in therapy because I told her this story. She was like, he wasn't saying anything about your looks though. He said something about you is so different. And we came to this kind of conclusion that it wasn't about my looks at all. It wasn't that I had lost weight. It was the confidence that I had radiating from me because I was so happy with myself. And I think that just really caused this glow from me because I was like, holy shit, I finally feel confident again. Like, all these people in college don't even know this version of me. It all came from the inside. It had nothing to do with me losing weight. It was how I felt about myself. And yeah, obviously losing weight was the catalyst to me feeling this different kind of confidence. But that's not to say that I could have just changed my inner world and had this confidence and been radiating without changing my physical body, and I still would probably have gotten that response from him. So that was kind of like a very eye-opening moment for me in therapy to be like, whoa, like, you're so right. And I actually went through this same freaking thing recently with my acne journey. And I think, it's hard not to be self-conscious when you have something on your face or even when you're uncomfortable in your body because you're just thinking about what people are thinking of you. Also, newsflash, no one's thinking about you. They're all thinking about themselves. Think about how often you think about other people versus yourself, okay? Everyone's doing that. But anyways, I kind of had this same realization with my acne because I told my therapist, I was like, when I go to the grocery store, no one wants to talk to me when I have no makeup on. And like, what? Also, like, this is, I don't even know. I guess an anxious girly. I'm an overthinker is what I am. So I told her that, and she's like, what if this is similar to your body thing, like your losing weight confidence thing? Because she's like, if you're giving off this energy, like, I'm self-conscious of my face, nobody talk to me, nobody look at me because you don't have makeup on, you're not putting out this energy of like, welcome everyone, come talk to me. But when I'm like when I have makeup on, also now that my skin is clear, like, I'm so much more confident because I'm not having those thoughts. But I was like, it's just been such a light bulb moment, and it's kind of like a repeating pattern for myself that I've seen. Wow, again, these are always therapy sessions the more I get into this. But anyways, I hope that I'm making sense, because it is so powerful how you treat yourself. It is, your inner world creates your outer world, and I wish I could scream this from the rooftops. And hey, I'm talking to myself here too, okay? But anyways, hot girl energy is this glow from within. It's not about your looks. It's not about having perfect skin. It's not about having the perfect body. It's truly this glow. And you just know when you see people, you're like, whoa, like they're just like magnetic. And that's what I want to talk about today. Okay, so we're going to talk about identity first. If you haven't listened to the full identity podcast, I'm not sure what episode number it is, but it's, I think maybe like 10 or 11. And that's a good one. It's called How to Rebrand Yourself or something like that. And again, identity is so important, because how you look at yourself is all that matters. We will never, ever know what people actually think about us. So stop trying to guess what other people think about you. Again, people are in their own little world. You got to focus on you. And if you believe that you are the shy, quiet girl, you're going to be that, because that is your truth. That is truly what you think and feel about yourself. That's what you think the world thinks about you. And that's why change is hard a lot of times, because we have these weird perceptions of what we think people think about us. And we think if we change, like, people are going to treat us differently, or people are going to make these comments, or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, how you feel about yourself is the most important thing. And if you can embody the identity of hot girl energy, you will be so shocked. And I have been thinking about like my personal identity and who I believe that I am. And it's constantly evolving and constantly growing. But the thing is like, I want you to ask yourself, like, what kind of person do you think you are? Like, how do you see yourself? What kind of energy do you see? And then after you kind of like do some journaling, ask yourself what you think about yourself. Next, I want you to write down who you want to be, like this hot girl energy you're trying to embody. Who is she? And I think some kind of questions to ask is like, obviously, what kind of energy does she have? What is she doing on a day-to-day basis? Like getting really nitty-gritty on the day-to-day, but then also like, how do people treat her? Who does she surround herself with? Because all of these things go into embodying the identity of this hot girl energy. And truly, when you shift your identity to being who you want to be and you create this identity, it is so life-changing. I've used this example probably a million times in podcasts, but when I went vegan, I embodied the shit out of a vegan girly, and I stuck to everything I said I was going to do because I embodied the identity. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I don't eat meat. It's like, no, I'm a fucking vegan. Watch out. Like, I'm never going to eat it. You're never going to catch me eating a burger, which again, like I said, don't do that. But I'm just saying, when you embody the identity of a Pilates girly, Pilates girlies go to Pilates, okay? And I think there's like this feeling that we have around Pilates girlies, and like, again, hot girl energy, Pilates girl energy, gym rat energy. When you think about all these different types of energies or people or whatever, you have this vision in your head, you have this feeling about them. And so it's so important to obviously like create this higher level version of yourself in terms of this hot girl energy, but also be like, what is the feelings that you have while you're this person, okay? Because again, I think a lot of people think hot girl energy is like, oh yeah, you're just pretty. It's like, no, that is not it at all. And I think too, when you're embodying this like hot girl energy, people come up to you and are like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful. Oh my gosh. Like they're not afraid to come up to you because you're radiating this kind of confidence that isn't arrogant or egotistical. You're kind and gentle, and people feel comfortable coming up and telling you you're pretty. Because I know if I see a beautiful girl and she's giving off mean girl energy, I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it to myself. Yep. And then if you see this like magnetic girl who's just like, smiling and glowing, and you feel okay going up to her to say, oh my gosh, you're beautiful, because they have this type of energy about them. And that's my definition of hot girl energy. I am not down for mean girl energy. Never have been, never will be. And I think people can tell, I don't know. I'm also very empathic, and I feel everything so intensely. And so I can tell by looking at someone, just to like see their mannerisms, how they walk, how they talk. I'm like, you're giving mean girl energy. And obviously I'm not right all the time, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like this person's energy is so calm and so sweet. Like I want to go compliment her. As a side note, I think this girl Kelly her name is Kelly, I don't know what her last name is, on TikTok. She posted this TikTok, and it's actually how she blew up, which I have always tried to do in my more confident years, not when I was super shy, but she said never hold a compliment in, and I freaking love that. I think too, you complimenting other people is a sign that you're confident. If you go and tell a girl like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful, that's in my mind, that takes confidence to actually go and talk to someone and say that. And I honestly feel like my most confident self when I am not holding compliments in. Even if I see a 60, 80-year-old, elderly lady, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. It's so cute. Or, oh my gosh, your dog, like whatever it is, like your glasses are so cute. When you have the courage to go talk to a stranger, one, that just, you're doing hard things, you're building courage, you're building confidence, but it also just like gives off this magnetic type of energy and confident type of energy. So never hold a compliment in, okay? And I think sometimes too, like I've given girls compliments and they're like, thanks. Like you could just tell. I'm like, okay, well, and I don't ever regret giving a compliment, but you can just tell when someone is like, yeah, thanks, kind of a thing, rather than like grateful. And I'm not saying you should give compliments for people to, owe you something back and be so grateful to you. But you can just, again, it's like this energy, it's this vibe. And hot girl energy is not mean girl energy. And I just want to make that very, very clear. It's magnetic, it's radiant, it's happy, it's sweet, it's kind. And honestly, you can make it whatever you want it to be. This is my perception of hot girl energy, okay? Okay, so anyways, for the identity piece, you're going to list your current identity, how you view yourself, and then you're going to list out the type of energy you want, who you surround yourself with as this like hot girl energy version of yourself, and then do a visualization. I do so many visualizations with clients. I think it's so powerful, but what you can do is honestly just take 5 minutes, set a timer, close your eyes, and visualize yourself as this hot girl energy version of yourself from when you open your eyes to when you fall asleep at night. Just take yourself through your day. What is she doing? Who is she with? What is she eating? The more granular and the more specific you can get, the easier it is to just paint this picture, and the easier it is for you to really step into this magnetic version of yourself. And it's not like magically you're gonna be like, okay, I did the exercise, Ashley, like I'm hot girl energy now. Like that's not how it works. You have to, do the visualization. You got to practice. You got to do affirmations. You got to release that old identity. There's lots of steps that go into it, and I do work a lot with my clients on this kind of stuff, but you still have to take that first step and creating this version of yourself. And maybe you don't have limiting beliefs. Maybe you don't have, doubts or old identities or whatever holding you back, and you just create this and you're good to go. Hell yeah, girl. That's perfect. I love that for you. Go do it. But sometimes it takes a little bit more practice and like rewiring, some old beliefs and identities and stuff like that. So it depends on you. So if you are that person that can just write a new identity and just step into it, I love that for you. I feel like I am one of those people where I can do that, but I feel everything so intensely. I am an emotional extremist. I don't know if I should say that out loud, but I feel the world so deeply. And as you can tell, I am an overthinker, which I think that's why I love podcasting so much, because I can just like word vomit everything out that's going on in my head. And I almost like figure things out on this podcast as we're talking. Anyways, but yeah, I think I have a lot of deep-rooted old beliefs in myself because of who I was. And again, I'm not going to go into too deep of who I was, but yeah, like I was mute, I was shy, I didn't have any friends, and then, became social, became confident, became this dancer girl, became a professional cheerleader, and then became a business owner. And I think all of this stems from identity. And I don't know, I think just like saying that out loud, I was like, whoa, I'm like actually so proud of myself. I think about my younger self and how scared she was of the world. Like I was that girl hiding behind my mom's leg 24/7. Even on field trips in elementary school, my mom would come, and I remember we had to go around and like, we were at like this farm, and we all had to say our name and an animal that started with our letter name or something, or insect or whatever. And I literally hid behind my mom's leg. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not saying shit right now. And my mom literally spoke for me. I think she was like, Ashley and Aunt or something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was the story of my life. And that wasn't just elementary school. That was like up until sophomore year of high school. Like I was going through it for a long time. So lots of rewiring and stuff. So, but I've changed my identity multiple times. So it can be done. If mute, quiet, shy girl can become a professional dancer, you can do anything that you want. Okay, now let's talk about mindset and confidence, okay? Confidence is so important. And I just want to start off by saying, everyone has doubts. Even the most confident girly you've ever met in your whole entire life, she has doubts about herself. She is not happy and positive about herself 24/7. Like, it's so normal and part of the journey. I think that like the old quiet, shy Ashley used to think about confident and like hot girl energy girlies is like just being perfect and like no doubts and just everything in their life worked out for them. And that's just not the case. Like, we're humans. We make mistakes. We are self-conscious. We're embarrassed. We do things that we don't mean to do. We say things that we don't mean to say. And I think just being okay with that, it kind of takes away this like perfectionism and this podium that we can sometimes put other people on. It's like, no, we're all imperfect humans. And the more you can just know that, the easier life becomes. I have so many clients that are just perfectionists and they don't give themselves enough credit. I'm like, you're a superhuman. One client in particular, she's so hard on herself sometimes, and you know, she works long hours. She's got a kid. Like, she's a superhuman. And I think sometimes she can be so hard on herself. I'm like, girl, you are doing the most. Like, you're crushing it. And she is also, it's so fun to see her. I love seeing her mindset shifts because she's like, okay, you know what? This was really hard, but instead I'm just going to push through. Like, I know I can do this. And I just love seeing her confidence. Anyways, side note, but yeah, perfection does not exist. So the more we can like, again, put different types of people off of pedestals and understand that like we are all trying to figure it out. Okay. Even the most confident person in the room, we all have doubts. Okay. So just knowing that, I think, is helpful for me, but positive self-talk is so important. And I talk about the mindset side of things a lot with you girls, but I don't know if you truly, truly understand how powerful it is. Because, I used to be that girl that was living in my head. I was so negative. I've said this before, but when I was in Chico in college and I hated my body and I didn't recognize who I saw in the mirror. I would literally, in my notes section, put old Ashley, which was like the skinnier version of myself when I thought I looked better, and then this current Ashley that was like fat and she just felt ugly. She didn't feel cute. She had no confidence. I would literally put those pictures side by side and write mean, angry notes to myself, like, why can't you just be like this old version of you? Like, how are you so fat? Like, so mean and so negative. I think in my mind I was like, oh, I flipped the switch so fast, but like, I don't even think I realized how negative I was until I read this book that said suck it up and be positive. And my life was honestly changed from that point, because I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know how mean I was. And a lot of my clients also are like, I have this one exercise called Your Inner Voice, and it's a whole activity where you kind of go through beliefs that you have about yourself and you kind of rewrite them. But a lot of women are like, whoa, I had no idea how negative I was. I had no idea that all of these thoughts surrounding my body, myself, who I am, my career affected my day-to-day life. Because, like, trust me, I know, like, when you're not feeling confident in your body and you walk by a mirror and you look at yourself, or you look at a picture, it's really fucking hard not to critique every little thing, especially when you're not feeling good about yourself in that way. And it's really hard at first to be like, okay, now I'm going to stop with this negative talk. Every single time I say something negative about myself, I'm automatically going to reframe with positive affirmations. And I'm not just going to do it one time. I'm going to say the same affirmation 3 times. And truly, like, it's so hard at first, and it takes a lot of mental energy to do it, but then it becomes easy and it becomes your natural state of just being positive, because you can change. Like, I feel like people are like, oh, you're so positive all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because I worked at it, because I used to be so negative. And honestly, like, I was that girl that was like negative on the inside, positive on the outside. Nobody knew. Like, I was that girl that was like pretending that I was okay when I wasn't. And so I just want you to know that you can change your mindset by talking positively about yourself. And you need to become your own biggest cheerleader. At the end of the day, you've got you and only you. And what is the point of being negative and mean to yourself? It's so important to be positive and become your own biggest cheerleader, because truly that is what hot girl energy is being so fucking kind to yourself, cheering yourself on. If something goes wrong, you say something negative about yourself, you reframe that and you tell yourself a bajillion times who you want to be. And soon you will be her. As soon as you start implementing all of this positive self-talk, it will be your natural state and you will be able to just embody this hot girl energy, okay? And like I said, hot girl energy is whatever it means to you. To me, it's like magnetic, smiley, giggling, happy, true self-confidence. And so I'm going to affirm that to myself every single fucking day, not just every once in a while. And if you want to go a step further, which I had just realized that I was not doing this, writing affirmations in a journal is like one step deeper than just saying it in your head. I think it's so powerful and important to do it in your head all the time, but writing it down every single morning, affirming who you want to be in whatever hot girl energy way you want to. So, and I think people are like, oh, like, I don't believe it. Like, I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. I'm talented. I'm successful. Like, at first you're not going to fucking believe it. You're going to write it down and be like, oh my God, this feels so awkward. What the heck? I don't believe this at all. And then one day you're going to be like, holy shit, I believe it. I am this person. Oh my God, everything works out for me. Like, it takes time. And it's about putting in the work now without seeing the results, because as soon as one day it's going to click and you're like, holy shit, Ashley, I wish I listened to you earlier. That's what's going to happen. And please come and tell me. I need to know, okay? What's up, guys? I hope you're loving this episode. I wanted to take a quick second to offer you something special for podcast listeners only. If you're someone who is a high achiever or craving discipline and transformation, you're ready to lose weight and leave old habits behind like food guilt, constant bloat, and body negativity, ready to embrace a new identity and become absolutely obsessed with your body in your life for life, then listen up. Vitality is my one-to-one coaching program where you will get in the best shape of your life for life. You will feel absolute food freedom and feel proud of your food choices, aka no more food guilt. You will feel energized, motivated, and excited to wake up every single morning to do your cute little morning routine. You will feel sexy AF in a bathing suit all year round and have the confidence to sprint to the front of every single photo. Your routines and workouts will light you up and you will radiate confidence and magnetism in every aspect of your life. If you're ready to get the best shape of your life for life, then DM me the word vitality on Instagram and we can chat about getting started. I'm so excited to work with you. Okay, back to the episode. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about physical well-being because hot girl energy, you got to feel good. If you're eating Taco Bell and McDonald's every day or every week, you're not going to be feeling good, which means you're not going to be able to show up for yourself. You're not going to feel energized. Your stomach's going to be upset. Like there's just so many things. So like, again, I want to do a new kind of like podcast episode on nutrition again, but you need to nourish your body. Food, you got to eat clean. 99% whole foods. There's so many amazing whole foods that you can eat and that actually taste good, making desserts. It's so funny because I've been on an ice cream kick, but then I had this whole realization. I'm like, okay, Ashley, you're trying to get in the best shape of your life. There's other ways that you can get your sweet treat fix in. And last night I had a little bit of ice cream left. And then I was like, no, like, because I'm tracking my macros. I'm like, I don't have enough calories for that. And I don't want my stomach to be upset. And I had a couple dates and I was like, whoa, I forget how good whole foods are and how satisfying it can be to a craving. So I had a couple days and I was like, oh my God, like I don't ice cream, I'm good. Like this is all I needed. So anyways, eating 99% whole foods. Some people think that's extreme, but I think it's important to feel good, and how you're going to feel good is eat whole foods, okay? Workout routine, you got to move your body. Create something that works for you though, whether that is Pilates, whether that is, walking, whether that is cardio sessions or strength training, like whatever it may be, find a workout routine that works for you. Because when you show up for yourself, you're going to build confidence, you're going to feel good, you're going to start believing the affirmations that you actually say to yourself, okay? Okay, I want to touch on a little bit of, social and relationship health, because I think it's really hard when you want to be this different person, but you're surrounded by the people who knew you as somebody else. And I'm not saying you just need to drop everything and go make new friends or whatever it may be, but I think it's important to notice, like, are these friends holding you back? Like, I'm trying to think if I have an example. I don't know. I think, for a phase there in 2021, I was partying my face off. I obviously was single and just having a good old time. And there were people that I hung out with that were party friends. And I think, if I continued to hang out with those people, I would have still been that version of myself. But I was like, whoa, what am I doing? I don't want to go party and drink every single weekend. Like, this is not who I want to be. And so I had to change who I surrounded myself with. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it is one of those things that's so real. If you are trying to get healthy and change your life, you got to change your environment and the people you're surrounding yourself with. And again, not saying you need to just drop all of your friends, but if you're someone who's like partying all the time and you're like, I'm fucking exhausted, I want to get healthy, you might have to change your friends. And you might not though. Some other friends are very supportive and they're like ride or dies and want to be with you through all the growth and transformation. But if friends are holding you back, it's important to take a look at that and set boundaries. And on the other side of that too is like, if you see someone that you're like, oh my God, they're giving major hot girl energy, they seem so nice, I want to reach out to them, reach out to them. I am first to be that girl. If I see someone that I'm like, damn, she looks so cool, like I want to be friends with her, or I'm like, I admire her in some way, and tell her, like, I've done that a couple times with people where I've been like, wow, they're so cool. We have so many same, hobbies. Like one in particular, Sierra, she's like such a badass snowboarder. She loves wake surfing. She's like doing adventure outdoorsy stuff. She's so cute. Like she seems so nice. And so I messaged her. I was like, I just have to say, like, I think we have so many similar interests. I think you're so cool. And we ended up like getting lunch one day. And again, like I think that, again, that is hot girl energy of like being able to reach out to someone and be like, you're fucking cool. I want to be friends with you. And just reach out to the people. If you see someone that you're like, God, you're so freaking cool. Like, I want to be friends with you. Reach out to them. I bet you they will be like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Like, I think everyone is so much more nice than maybe we think. And I know I was just talking about like mean girl energy, but like, again, like you're attracted to people that are magnetic, and you're not going to be attracted to people that give off mean girl energy anyway. So like if you see someone, you're like, damn, they're so cool. Like I want to be friends with them. Reach out to them. Like, please reach out to them. People are so nice. And then if they're not nice, then it's like, okay, cool. Like, don't want to be friends with someone that's not nice anyways. And you still get to give a compliment. So it's a win. Surround yourself with people that are in a, people that you aspire to be. And if you want to join Vitality too, like we are such an amazing group of women, supportive, just going to push you and, also support you, encourage you through your whole health and fitness journey. So I love creating a community of women, because I think your health and fitness journey, it can be alone. If you're trying to lose weight, it's fucking hard. It's not easy. I wish it could just be like, boop, okay, good to go. And, I obviously take an approach that like, you're not just like completely transforming your life and you're going to hate your life from trying to lose weight. But, it is a shift, and it's nice to be able to be surrounded by people that are on the same path as you, being on group calls and talking about your struggles and your wins. And it's so powerful. And I just love my Vitality girlies. So if you want to join Vitality, the application is in the description. I've got lots of options for you, and it's starting at, I think, $249 a month. So very affordable, but the link is in the show notes. So I'd love to see you in Vitality. Okay, so that kind of covers social and relationships. The last thing I want to talk about is just rituals. Rituals for hot girl energy, because hot girlies take care of themselves, okay? And so it's really important to create rituals that make you feel fucking amazing. And you don't have to have the same ones forever. I think so often we're like, oh, like this isn't working for me. And it's like, try it for a couple weeks. If you're like, this isn't vibing with me, unless it's meditation, because that's something you just have to stick with and you just got to suck it up and do it. And then one day it's going to click. Same with affirmations, but make it a vibe. Like with your morning routine, like I have my salt rock lamp on that you can see if you're watching this on YouTube. I do like some sage that I burn, or I'll light a candle. Like I set the vibe. So I'm like, okay, this is fun. I put on some like Hertz, or I put on a guided meditation. Like I do something to make it a vibe. And then just some examples for morning routine, like ask yourself how you want to feel in the morning. If you don't decide for yourself, another external circumstance is going to decide for you, whether that's you looking at social media and seeing something sad, or getting a text from someone who's like bugging you, or you see a message from your boss and it's like, that's how you're going to start your day. No. Hot girls take care of themselves, including their mind. So I want you to decide how you want to feel, especially if you're trying to shift your identity into this hot girl energy vibe. You decide how you feel. Don't let external circumstances. So literally, as you're brushing your teeth, you don't have to journal it if you don't want to. While you're brushing your teeth, ask yourself, how do you want to feel today, Ashley? How do you want to feel today? And then say it. If you want to feel energized, if you want to feel excited, if you want to feel calm, if you want to feel at peace, like state that to yourself while you're brushing your teeth. That is something that is like, I think people are like, oh, I don't have time to do mindset work. It's like, okay, you're already brushing your teeth anyways. Habit stack that shit, okay? Just do it in your head. And then say it over and over again. If you're like, I need to have a productive day, say, I am productive as you're brushing your teeth. And you want to state it with the energy behind it. Because again, sometimes when you're leveling up and shifting into a new identity, you don't feel like her yet. And so you have to, I don't even know if fake it till you make it is the word I want to use. But you have to put this energy behind it. And the more you get comfortable saying it, the easier it will be. But do you think Megan Fox is like, I'm beautiful? Like, no, she's like, I'm fucking beautiful. I'm hot. I'm amazing. I'm successful. She's not like, yeah, I'm successful. And don't get me wrong, you might have an off day where you're not feeling it, but that's fine. But like the majority of it, in order to move forward, the majority of it needs to be behind it with energy where you're like, okay, maybe I don't believe this right this second, but I know I will soon. And just keep saying it until it's ingrained in your subconscious, okay? And this is why I have clients do certain activities like EFT tapping, hypnosis, because these things go straight into your subconscious mind, and it enables you to kind of like fast track and almost like jump ahead, as opposed to like having to repeat them over and over again. It just, again, goes right to your subconscious, so it's so much easier for you to actually believe. That shit's mind-blowing. I'm serious. You got to create an evening routine. What does that look like for you? For me, sometimes it's a guided meditation. I like to do my skincare. Okay, I lied. I like to, again, I have a salt rock in my bathroom as well, so I put that on, or I'll do a candle, or both. I have like a little, I don't even know what it's called. It looks like a little scrub that you put in the shower, and it like smells nice, like the steam. Okay, yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I put that in there. I have some like eucalyptus in my shower. Like, again, it's all about setting up the vibe for me. So I do that. I put a guided meditation or something on in the background that's like really calming. And then I will, shower, get out, do my skincare. If I want to do some sort of like meditation after, I will. And then I read. But again, all these rituals are important, not necessarily for the ritual itself, but what it's setting you up to do. Because your evening routine is good for you to like get good sleep and be in a calm state. So when you wake up, you're not like thinking about the TikTok that you scrolled on the night before and saw. And then you wake up feeling energized, and then that propels you forward for your whole day. And so all these rituals have an important meaning behind it. And like I said, hot girls take care of themselves. They do. They take care of themselves. They feel good. And to feel good, you have to do these types of rituals, okay? I'm not saying you need to do like a 10-step morning routine or a 20-step evening routine. Just do a couple things that like are setting you up for success and make you feel really, really good. Again, a movement routine. What does that look like to you? Set it up. Schedule it out in your planner. If you do not allocate time, you will not get it done, okay? You need to schedule it in your calendar. If you're not on my email newsletter, you should sign up, because I just sent out like a whole calendar of me. I time block my walk. I time block my my workouts. So it's like, it's in there. It's a meeting. It's happening. Yeah, it's not a, do I have time to do it? It's like, oh, it's in there. I have to go do it. Okay. So create your movement routine, schedule it in your calendar. Same with eating. Plan out your meals. Make sure you're getting balanced meals, carbs, protein, fat, fiber at every single meal. It takes a little bit of prep time, but if you want to embody hot girl energy, you have to feel fucking amazing. And what you put in your body, aka food, impacts how you feel. Okay. And I know this might sound like a lot, like, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things to embody this hot girl energy. You don't have to change everything at once. Okay. What you can do is just slowly add one thing. Maybe you just do the exercise today. Just do that identity exercise where you're like, what are my current beliefs? Who do I want to be in that visualization? That'll take you like 15 minutes max, okay? And then maybe next week you're like, okay, I'm gonna start planning out my meals. And then the week after that, once you got that on lock, then you're gonna create a movement routine for yourself. You can do this step by step, and it doesn't have to happen all at once, but I highly encourage you to take these steps. And if you need help, reach out and join Vitality and work one-on-one with me so I can help you step by step really take action and embody this different kind of energy. I do a lot of identity work because I think it's so powerful, and it's worked wonders for me. And then obviously, all of the rituals, so important, but it's important to figure out a way that works for you and your lifestyle. I don't want you to do my evening routine because you're not me. You have different likes and dislikes. You have different, things that excite you or make you feel good. And so I don't want you to do what I'm doing. I want you to figure out a way that works for you and your lifestyle. Okay. With everything that I just talked about, but except for meditation and affirmations, that's hard, and you just got to put in the time, because it does. It takes some time and it takes some mental energy, but it is so powerful once you kind of get to that other side. But that is it for today. I hope you guys loved this Hot Girl Energy podcast. I love talking about obviously nutrition and fitness, but this mindset side of things and the energy behind things I think is so important and can really just change the trajectory of your life. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch all of it live, and screenshot, share it with a friend if you enjoyed this episode. And thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world that you're here, and I love you. I'll catch you on the next one.